right, everyone, let's get started here today. Welcome to another weekly Wednesday workshop. My name is Jim Schultens. I'm a systems engineer here at Variphy, and I'll be your host for today's session. We're joined by my fellow systems engineer, Mike Stratton, and he's going to show us how to install an AD signed certificate on a Windows server. How you doing today, Mike?
Good, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. All right. So for our agenda today, we'll start off with a quick overview of our company and what we do. Next, Mike will guide us through his live demo. We'll pause for some Q&A and get your questions answered. During the demo, if you do have any questions, make sure to ask them in the Q&A panel in the bottom right of the corner of the screen. After Q&A, we'll reward one lucky attendee with a $50 Amazon gift card. So make sure you hang around to see if you've won. All right, a quick overview of Variphy. Variphy is the preferred analytics and management solution for Cisco collaboration. We provide industry-leading CDR, UCCX, and Cube Call analytics, customizable dashboards and widgets, remote phone control, change management, and dial plan management. But today, we're going to focus on the AD signed certs for Windows servers. If you have any other questions regarding any of our other features, please feel free to chat them over to me and we'll take those offline and get those answered for you promptly. All right, one more thing before we get into the demo here today. For those of you looking for a more hands-off experience, we do offer a managed consulting service. This is a service that provides a dedicated Variphy SE to do all the heavy lifting, giving you and your users a completely hands-off experience. Just think of us as an extension of your organization. This service provides upgrades, one-on-one training, report and dashboard building, or anything you need. Your dedicated Variphy Systems engineer has you covered. The only thing you have to do is reach out to us. If you'd like additional information on our ECS services, feel free to reach out to your account manager, and we'd be happy to see if ECS is right for you. All right, with all that said, we will hand it over to Mike and go into the wild here.
Cool. All right, you should see my screen. Let me move WebEx.
Yep. Looks good.
Move WebEx to another monitor. Okay. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Mike. I am a systems engineer with Variphy. Today, I will be showing you how to install an AD signed certificate for the Variphy software in a Windows environment. Two things I want to point out before I get started. One, there is a knowledge base article available that will walk you through the entire process. In our KB, if you just search for certificate Windows, it should bring back the article as the top result. This is close to what I'm following. If you're doing it on your own, I would definitely follow this article. There's a couple steps in here that I'm not going to do. There's a few steps where it has you check your work. I'm going to skip over all of that and just kind of keep things kind of quick. They're not required, so yeah, that's why I'm skipping them. Also, my lab is not connected to the domain, so the certificate will not really work in my environment. But the goal is here is to kind of demonstrate the steps you would do, not to fix my lab. So. If you're looking to install the certificate on a Linux server, we do have a separate KB article and webinar available from Brian. The commands are the same, but the paths are a little bit different. So let's get started. So here's my lab here. You'll see going to localhost, I get not secure. So the way that you would fix this in your environment, first, we're going to jump into File Explorer and go to, first what you want to do is make a backup of the current self-signed key store. This is going to be in the Variphy Insight folder. Default location is going to be on the C drive, program files, Variphy Insight folder. From here, go to app and then Tomcat. You'll see in the Tomcat folder this little key store here. You can make a copy of it. You can rename it, whatever works for you. I'm going to just rename it to .old. And save it, and then continue. Okay, so now we have this. We're going to open up command prompts and run it as an administrator. Let me do it on my other monitor and then drag it over. So here we go. You want to change your directory to the C. Here, I'll just type it out. The C colons, I mean, the directory will depend upon your environment, but the program file / verify insight / JRE / bin folder. So I'll show you verify insight / JRE / you're going into this folder here. And then we're going to start running a few different commands. So the first command we're going to run is going to create a new key store. I'll copy it here in Notepad so you can see what we're running. But essentially, this is the command. You can change this out for your server name. If you're going to change the password on the key store, this is where you change it. Our default is just change it. You can follow it from the document, or if you change it, you will have to update it in a different file. And I'll show you that towards the end of the workshop. So I'm just going to go ahead and just run this as is. For more detailed information, all these different parts of the command are detailed in the knowledge base. So go ahead, paste, and run it. And there we go. So now we should have a new key store back in the app Tomcat folder. So you can see here's our new key store. Remember, if you're with Windows, if you have a space in the path name, make sure to use quotes. The next step in the KB is going to have you run a command to check the key store. Again, we're not checking our work, so we'll skip that step and then move on to the next step, which is to create the certificate signing request for the CSR file. This is used to generate the certificate from Active Directory. So next command we're going to run, now that we have the new key store, is, I'll paste it again in Notepad. And if you can't see it, let us know. Again, we're running the key tool executable. We're adding the AD information plus the lab, and then we're outputting the CSR file to the verify insight folder. So I'm going to copy this again, and then paste and run it. And now we go. So now if we go back to the verify insight folder, you're going to see the CSR file right here. The next step in the KB, this is the part I'm also skipping. We'll have you check the contents of the CSR file. We'll go ahead and skip that. And then the next step will be to open the CSR file with a text editor. You can use Notepad, Notepad++, TextPad. I'll go ahead and just use whatever comes up. I'll use Notepad. All right. So here's the contents of the CSR file. So now I'm going to take this and then go to our AD server. Let me get back over there. So here's the Active Directory server. To get to the certificate services, usually just go to /CERTSRV. And then from here, we're going to request a certificate. And then we're going to select Advanced Certificate Request. So we're going to take the contents of the CSR file, all of it, and then copy it, and then paste it. Pretty straightforward. The certificate template, we're going to change it from user to web server, and then click submit. And then the certificate, to download it, we're going to select base 64 encoded, and then download certificate chain. And so you'll see we have the certnew.p7b file here. So we're going to take the contents of this file, move it here. So we're just going to take the contents of this file and then move it, or move the file to my verify insight folder. So we'll copy it here, go back, and we're going to move this. And you can really put it anywhere, but based on the script that I have, I'm going to put it here in the verify insight folder. And then here is the third and I believe the final command we're going to run. So go ahead and copy it. I'll show it to you in Notepad real quick. So here's the final command. Again, we're running key tool. Now we're importing it. We're pointing towards where the key store is, and we're also pointing it to the P7b file that we just copied off, that we just downloaded and copied to the folder. So go ahead, take this, copy it, go back to command prompt, paste, and there we go. When it runs, it's going to ask you, say it's not trusted, install, reply anyways. We want yes. And there we go. The certificate reply was installed in the key store. Again, we're skipping the next step. It's not required, but then we're going back. Oh, actually, this step we're not going to skip. So at this point, the certificate's up there, ready to go. In a live environment, not my lab, it would be ready to go. But before we finish everything, before we wrap everything up, we want to go to the Verify Insight config directory. And there's two files here. These handle HTTP and HTTPS. If you change the password from change it to something else, you will want to open up this file with the text editor. Go ahead and do Notepad++. And here, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. So you can see it. In your file, you want to go to the password. So the entry here for certificate key store password, and then change it from whatever change it is to your updated password. And everything else here can stay the same. But while you're in here, I mean, while we're looking at it, if you do also down the road want to change the port from like the default port of 8443, this is the file where you would come in and change the port. So if you have to make any changes that are outlined in the knowledge base article, go ahead and make those changes now. And then also, since we're trying to make our system more secure, now would be a good time to also disable HTTP. So we only use HTTPS. So go in here to the HTTP customizations.xml file, open with, again, you can use Notepad++. Come on in, and then what you want to do is just comment out all of this. So we'll go ahead and put a less than sign, exclamation point, and then two hyphens. And then at the end of this, we'll do the same. I'll do two hyphens followed by the greater than symbol, and then save the file. Save it in administrator mode. Now we're all set. Actually, do it again. There we go. So now if we go in here, HTTP will be, check our work, HTTP will be disabled. So go ahead to update the software, to update the changes, go into the Windows Services Manager and find the Verify service, and go ahead and restart it. Our lab runs a little slow, but that is the end. Once it starts, there we go. We're all set, and then we should be able to, again, my just won't work, but if I do localhost 8080, shouldn't work. Can't be reached. But then 8443, if I refresh, after a restart, it may take a few seconds to go ahead and reach the website. But then that is it in a nutshell. That's it for updating the certificates. I think at this point we can open up for Q&A if there's any questions.
Yeah, not really related to the Windows install. We had a question, just are there instructions on doing this similar for a Linux install?
Yes, there are. So the knowledge base, if you just do Linux certificates. Oh, right there. Installing a wildcard. No, that's not it. There is one. Maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't include Linux. Right there. Installing an Active Directory signed TL certificate for Windows. No, that's not it. Here it is. Verify Inside OVA. It's actually, this is the document that we based the entire the Windows KB article around. Steps are the same. You can really use either document, just to use a little more commands. You're just using the Linux paths on the R. So this is for ROVA. If you have your own Linux setup that's not ROVA, the paths may be a little bit different, but the commands are the same.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. That's all we have that came in so far. So if you get any last minute questions, go ahead and ask those now. Doesn't look like anything's coming in. If something does come in, we just got something here. The same process work for a public sign cert.
I believe so. I haven't done one in a very long time. I can check into it. Who take down whoever the name of the person who has
Yep.
it, and we can.
Mm.
I'll verify it before I say yes. It will.
Okay. We'll get back to you on that, Paul. Away here. All right. Our Q&A is done. All right. Awesome job, Mike. Thank you very much. All right. And I'd like to mention our online user community, Planet Verify. This is a place where you can connect with your peers and expand your knowledge of all things Verify, or chat in the cantina about your favorite movies, sports teams, food and drinks, whatever you'd like to talk about. And happy to chat with you there. And now we're going to get to the moment you all been waiting for. The winner of this week's gift card is Paul Perry. Congratulations, Paul. Your account manager will be reaching out to you shortly to get you paid. All right. We are back again next week before we do take a break for the holidays. But next week, we're excited to have Victor and Matt show off our new Zoom reporting. That's just around the corner to be released shortly, but we're really excited about that. And Victor and Matt will show you how the reporting works on that. So I'd like to thank you once again for taking time out of your day to join us, and have a great week and enjoy your holiday season. Thanks all.
Bye, everyone.